Scaling a business to over £1 million revenue is actually a lot easier than you think. And in the next 29 episodes, I'm going to break down the key fundamentals that I believe have helped me do that, and speaking with other business owners who've also achieved that million plus status, also pinned down as the main things that are, crucial to actually getting there. And quite often we get lost and we go off on tangent in all these different directions. And it's really, really important that you just pull it all back down and keep it simple to these 29 points. And I guarantee you can scale a business to over £1 million turnover in less than 12 months. As always, don't forget that this episode is sponsored by Ep1 and the Luke Stays Academy. If you haven't already, check those website links out in the description below. So the key point that I want to start with is really understanding which of your products or services make the most profit. You will hear all the time that you need 7 revenue streams to become a millionaire, which I actually disagree with. What you need is several revenue streams, and you need to do them extremely well. If you try and run loads of different products and you do some good, some bad, you're not going to be able to achieve your full potential, because your time will be taken away from the core services which are actually generating the most profit. However, it's crucial that you analyze which of your services that you're already doing are making the most money. I know when I started out, I had my short-term rental gig, I had HMOs, I had my buy-to-lets, I was doing cleaning and linen for people, we were doing external maintenance. I wanted to become this full property solution, but really when I dug under the hood, several of those services just weren't making enough money to make it worth the time that we were investing. So what I did was I did a full analysis on what was working, what wasn't working. And when I say what wasn't working, they were still making profit, but was the profit enough to warrant the time that it was taking either myself or my staff away from the core products that actually delivered the most profitability to the business? And it might be a case that there's a certain client type that delivers the most profitability to your business. Whatever it is, you've got to figure it out. And then what you want to do is go after that market. Go after and push that service as hard as you possibly can. Because when you've got more profitability coming into the business, you can then reinvest that capital to be able to either, in my case, take on more units and therefore create more cash flow, take on more staff and be able to leverage my time. So now it's not only me doing it, I now have an army of deal sources that work internally. So therefore we're finding more units because we're going on more viewings, we're making more offers, and naturally we're going to agree more deals. More deals for my business means that they go into the short-term rental avenue, and then we make a lot of cash flow from each and every one of those units, because I identified that as my most profitable service that we offered was the rent-to-rent gig or my owned or managed units on a short-term rental strategy. That's where we make the most money. So that is what I wanted to do, was basically find more of them and then put them into that strategy so we can make more money, and then use the money to find more again, either by hiring more staff or by just pumping it into buying more assets or setting up more rental arbitrage units, or potentially even just throwing a bit of extra marketing spend onto acquiring more management clients. So it's a full circle, but you've got to understand where you're profitable. If you are only making pennies or £100 here, £100 there, like I was from a cleaning operation, yet the manpower to run that was up here and the profitability was down here. Whereas for, say, the short-term rental side of things, the manpower's down here and the profitability's up here, meaning that that is a service worth going after, throwing more spend at, and ultimately it helps the business become more profitable. So the first thing you need to do is analyze what you're doing. The easiest way to do this is to simply get a spreadsheet out. Have a look at how many of the service items or how many clients you have onboarded recently, maybe over the last 6 to 12 months, and then work out how much profit you're making from each of those services, either monthly or annually, or as I like to do, for the lifetime value of that client. Now, you may not know that yet. You may not be as experienced enough. You may not be doing business enough to know what the longevity of each client is, but you can probably take a good estimated guess. But even so, if you look at it on a monthly basis, how much profit are you making from that service or that client? When you have those figures, you will see on a spreadsheet that this service makes, say, £500, for example, per month from a client. This service makes £80 a month from a client. What you then want to do is put how many manpower hours it's taken to run that operation. So I need 3 staff to make that. I need 7 staff to make that. So if you've got 3 staff making the £500 a month and you've got 7 staff making the £80 a month, then naturally you want to move the 7 staff onto the operation that makes £500, get more of them, acquire more properties in my case, or more clients, or whatever the services that you're providing, and do more of that and use that manpower to facilitate that, cut that service off, and then you will naturally make more profit. And then, as I said earlier, you can reinvest that money. That's my top tip number 1. As we explore the next 29, stay with me. Don't forget to subscribe, and then you will never miss a beat when we launch a new episode. As always, this is sponsored by iPrac and the Luke Stays Academy. And thank you very much for attending today, and I will see you soon.